Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
And we're going to begin at 5 with forewarned weather. An ice storm warning set to go into effect tomorrow. And what you end up getting is really going to depend on, as you can see, lots of different sections there on the map where you live. Everything from snow to ice to rain on the table as we head toward tomorrow.
All right, so let's get right over to Kim Adams. And Kim, this has been challenging to forecast, to say the least.
This is one of the most challenging forecasts that we have had really probably in the last several years at least, not just us, but also the National Weather Service, because a matter of 1 or 2 degrees change in the temperature can mean the difference between ice, sleet, snow. It's going to be a really interesting day to watch. But our main concern as of right now is the swath of deep purple you see here. That is where there is an ice storm warning. It includes Washtenaw, Livingston, Oakland, Macomb, and also St. Clair counties. North of that, a winter storm warning. Anywhere you see in purple, that's heavy snow. And then down to the south, including Wayne County, a winter weather advisory. So tomorrow you can need anything from a snowblower up in Flint to an ice scraper across much of Metro Detroit, and then also an umbrella down right near the Ohio border. But if things shift even just by 10, 15 miles, we can have a completely different scenario where more people seeing ice and then freezing rain. It's just going to be a very difficult day with all types of precip going on in a very small area. All right, so at 8 a.m. though, for your morning commute, absolutely fine. At noon, we're going to call it a moderate risk because this weather is going to come in very quickly and heavy. So conditions will rapidly deteriorate, and by 4 o'clock, just as that evening commute gets going, that's when we expect the highest amount of ice, freezing rain, snow, possibly even north of M59. So that's the time that we're really concerned about as of right now. I'm going to break this down for you even more coming up in the forecast. But now is the perfect time, I can't stress this enough, to download the forewarned weather app because we do have so many different types of weather. I only have so much time to get to it in the forecast, but we can really dig in and tell you exactly what's going to happen in your neighborhood by downloading that app.
Kim, we'll see you in a bit. Well, ahead of the storm, DTE says it is ready for what's coming over the next 48 hours.
In fact, crews are already coming in from other states. They'll be here as early as tomorrow to help with any potential outages. Rod Maloney live with that story. Rod, they are preparing for the worst here.
Well, Devin, yeah, they don't know what to expect. That confusion is giving them pause. And so what they're saying is, okay, we have to be ready for anything. And so therefore they are. And in fact, let's go down the list of some of the things that they've done. The first thing they did was that they've activated their incident command center. They also said that they've got about 200 plus repair teams all ready to go. They have 1,500 workers at the ready. They're saying that, again, as you said earlier, Devin, 400 out-of-state crews, members being sent here for tomorrow. One of the things that they talk about is the weight of ice and what that can do to lines. They said that one line with just like even half an inch of ice on it can be as heavy as a grand piano, which is why wires tend to break and fall down in that kind of bad weather. And so let's hear from DTE and their head of operations to see what he has to say about what they're doing to prepare.
If we do get that combination of ice and high winds, we're going to see a number of wires come down. And when that happens, what's most important is that the public is aware and on the lookout for those wires, do everything they can to stay away from those wires, stay at least 25 feet away, look for anything that those wires may be in contact with, like metal fences or anything else. Don't touch anything that those wires may be in contact with.
And so safety is everything here as we go into this. You know, it's going to get uncomfortable if you don't have heat and you get cold. But they're also saying if that happens, you don't want to bring a generator in the garage or into the house and then have carbon monoxide be a problem. They said if you got a generator, keep it outside. So Devin will be on top of this over the next 24 to 48 hours to make sure we all stay safe.
We're all going to stay on the balls of our feet here because of the changing scenario here too that Kim just mentioned. All right, Rod, be sure to stay with clickondetroit.com as the storm approaches. The team will be updating any school closings as they come in, along with any snow emergencies that might be necessary. Forewarned weather team will be constantly updating the forecast on that app and on Click on Detroit as things evolve overnight and into tomorrow, so keep it here and we will keep you advised. Our other top story at 5, friends and family saying their final goodbyes to Arielle Anderson.
Anderson was one of the 3 victims killed in the mass shooting at Michigan State. And today, hundreds honor the 19-year-old who aspired to become a surgeon. Priya Mann is live tonight. Priya, there were so many moving tributes today.
One after the other, Christy. Arielle was remembered as a studious young girl. She loved to learn. She loved to read. She was curious. She was a star student on the honor roll, had plenty of friends. She was loved by so many. And today was a celebration of her 19 years with us. Hundreds prayed together at Zion Hope Baptist Church on Detroit's east side, honoring the short but impactful life of Arielle Anderson.
This service puts a Band-Aid on a scar that only time can heal. But we pray and let this family know we're standing with them.
The 19-year-old was in class at Berkey Hall when she was shot and killed last Monday at MSU.
She was studying to become a doctor. It hurts. The whole community is touched by this.
The Grosse Pointe North High School grad was remembered as a smart and funny young woman who had so much to live for.
She was voted as most likely to succeed. She was diligent, thoughtful, and what I saw, she had a fashion sense.
A letter written by her mother brought many to tears.
Mommy misses you so much. Only God knows what I will give just to feel your touch. I'm all that we.
There are no words that we can say on today to bring Arielle back or take the pain away from this family. But guess what we can do? We can make sure we change things around here. We can make sure that no other child has to go through this again.
Governor Whitmer agreed, making a pledge directly to Arielle's parents.
I will continue to keep you in my prayers, and the actions that we take in response to this will honor your daughter. Her death, her life will not have been in vain. We will all.
And while we will, of course, follow any developments out of Lansing, today was about Arielle, the lives that she touched, the impact that she had, and the difference that she made in her 19 years. Reporting live, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
What a beautiful service. Thanks so much, Priya.
Former President Jimmy Carter continues to receive hospice care at his home in Georgia. Carter's family announced the decision this weekend to forego additional medical treatment at 98 years of age. Jimmy Carter is the oldest living president we've ever had.
Well, your commute is about to get longer on I-75 in Oakland County. The reconstruction project, it's ramping back up. Both directions of the freeway will close between 696 and Square Lake Road starting on Friday night. Crews will be shifting traffic for when the project begins on Monday. That's when traffic will share the northbound lanes of 75 between 13 Mile and 696. We will have much more on what drivers should expect ahead on the news at 6 o'clock tonight.
President Biden marking a year of war in Ukraine with a speech in Poland to rally support from allies and Americans alike. His address comes after his surprise visit to Ukraine and emphasized that the war is, as he put it, a battle for democracy that has implications across the globe. Adding to that urgency, Russia's President Vladimir Putin, his comments today about suspending Russia's participation in a key treaty. Drew Petromo has the latest from Washington. Drew.
President Biden declared that after a year of war, democracies of the world are standing strong. But he also made clear that tough days are ahead in a war with no end in sight.
Hello, Poland.
Speaking from the Polish capital, President Biden reflecting on a year of war in Europe.
1 year after the bombs began to fall, Russian tanks rolled into Ukraine. Ukraine is still independent and free.
Among the crowd of tens of thousands gathered at the Warsaw Royal Castle, some of the 1.5 million Ukrainian war refugees currently living in Poland.
No one can turn away their eyes from the atrocities Russia is committing against the Ukrainian people. It's abhorrent. It's abhorrent.
President Biden praising the bravery of the Ukrainian people and the resolve of the coalition of countries supporting Ukraine's defense.
When Russia invaded, it wasn't just Ukraine being tested. The whole world faced a test for the ages.
President Biden taking direct aim at Russia's president.
President Putin's craven lust for land and power will fail. Ukraine will never be a victory for Russia.
But earlier today, in a fiery speech from Moscow, Vladimir Putin vowing Russia will win the war, while blaming Ukraine's leaders and the West for his invasion. Putin also announcing Russia will pause its participation in the New START treaty with the U.S. that caps the number of nuclear weapons the two countries can deploy.
Our support for Ukraine will not waver.
Despite the president's promise, Americans are somewhat skeptical. Recent polls show the public is split on whether the U.S. should continue supplying weapons and funding to Ukraine. Still, 1 year after the war's start, Ukraine's will to fight for democracy has not waned. During his speech, President Biden also announcing new sanctions. They're expected to target 200 Russian individuals and entities. The list includes governors and family members of government officials. Reporting from Washington, I'm Drew Petrimo, Local 4.
All right, Drew, the president is going to stay in Poland for formal NATO meetings that are set for tomorrow.
Now to new weekly COVID numbers just released by the state. 6,547 new cases are being reported as continuing a downward trend. It also brings the daily average below 1,000 cases per day. 89 new deaths, though, are also being reported over that same 7-day period.